When the lights dimmed in the grand ballroom of a luxury hotel in Gangnam, Seoul, no one could have predicted that the evening would turn into one of the most unforgettable nights in the history of Korean entertainment. Chang Wook, the beloved Hallyu actor who has long been praised for his charismatic screen presence and humble personality, stood before a crowd of reporters, fans, and industry insiders, with cameras flashing and anticipation running high for his latest project. The audience expected another polished press conference filled with jokes, smiles, and polite answers. Instead, witnessed a confession that would ripple through the entertainment world like an earthquake. "I have to be honest," Chang Wook said, voice low but steady. "I have been in love with Ji Hyun since the days we filmed Suspicious Partner." For a moment, the room froze. Reporters stared at one another, unsure whether they had heard him correctly. Was this a publicity stunt? Was this another scripted line from a drama? But as the actor lifted his head, his eyes unwavering and his tone filled with sincerity, truth settled in like a storm rolling across the horizon. It's not acting. This was Chang Wook revealing his heart to the world. The timing of his revelation could not have been more dramatic. It had been 8 years since Suspicious Partner, also known as Love and Trouble, first aired on SBS in 2017. The legal romantic comedy became an instant hit not only in Korea but also across Asia, showcasing the undeniable chemistry between Chang Wook and his co-star Ji Hyun. Fans had swooned over their banter, their lingering glances, and the electric tension that seemed to leap from the screen. Yet, after the show ended, life took them in different directions. Chang Wook, then at the peak of his career, enlisted in the military later that year, while Ji Hyun continued to carve out her path as one of the most talented young actresses of her generation. The idea of a real romance between them was tucked away in the corners of fan forums and wistful shipping communities, never confirmed, never denied. Until now. To understand the weight of Chang Wook's confession, one has to revisit those early days on set. Suspicious Partner was filmed across several locations, the bustling streets of Seoul to the quieter corners of Ilsan in Jeonggi-do, where the production had built sets replicating courtrooms and law offices. Behind the bright lights and carefully framed shots, the cast and crew endured grueling hours, often filming through the night to meet broadcasting deadlines. It was in these long stretches of exhaustion and camaraderie that something unspoken began to grow between the lead actors. According to crew members, Chang Wook often showed small gestures of care toward Ji Hyun, whether it was bringing her hot tea during chilly night shoots in Mapo district, or making her laugh when the stress of endless takes weighed on her. His affection was quiet but noticeable to those who paid attention. Ji Hyun, younger but equally professional, matched his energy with warmth and respect, creating a partnership that elevated their performances to new heights. The drama's success only fueled speculation. Fans compiled endless montages of behind-the-scenes footage, pointing out moments when Chang Wook's gaze lingered a little too long or when Ji Hyun's smile seemed to carry something more than friendliness. During promotional interviews, the pair displayed an ease that bordered on flirtatious. Yet, whenever asked directly about their relationship, both dismissed it with laughter, insisting they were close colleagues and nothing more. Perhaps it was true at the time. Or perhaps Chang Wook, already aware of the feelings stirring within him, chose silence as a shield. That silence lasted years. After completing his mandatory military service, Chang Wook returned to the entertainment industry with a string of successful dramas, each one reaffirming his place among Korea's top stars. Ji Hyun continued to build her career with roles that highlighted her versatility, moving seamlessly from youthful romantic comedies to darker, more complex stories. The two remained friendly, occasionally seen together at award ceremonies or industry gatherings, but never in a way that hinted at anything deeper. Industry moved on. Fans shifted their focus, and what could have been remained a fantasy left to imagination, until Chang Wook decided he could no longer carry the secret alone. The confession at Gangnam's Koks Convention Center. His new project was being launched, was not planned. Not by his agency. Sources close to the actor revealed that his management team was blindsided, scrambling to respond to the flood of calls from reporters within minutes of his words hitting social media. Chang Wook's decision seemed deliberate, even inevitable. For years, he had carefully maintained his image, balancing fan expectations with the privacy required in an industry that scrutinizes every move of its stars. Yet in that moment, standing under the glare of cameras, he chose vulnerability over control. He chose to acknowledge what had been true for him since 2017, that his feelings for Nam Ji Hyun were real, lasting, and powerful. Immediate fallout was explosive. Within minutes, hashtags related to the confession trended worldwide: Chang Wook confession, Nam Ji Hyun, and suspicious partner reunion. Twitter, Instagram, both were flooded with clips of the moment. Fans screaming in disbelief, others crying tears of joy. Some questioned whether it was wise for him to be so open, given the harsh scrutiny Korean celebrities face when it comes to their private lives. Others celebrated his bravery, declaring it the most romantic gesture they had ever seen from a star. Memes circulated. Fan edits resurfaced. International news outlets picked up the story, naming it as a rare and shocking moment in the tightly controlled world of Korean entertainment. But what about Nam Ji Hyun? At the time of the confession, he was not present at the event. She had been filming her latest drama in another district of Seoul, completely unaware of the storm that was about to engulf her. Her agency, when reached for comment, actually offered no statement, buying time to process the situation. Fans waited anxiously, scouring her social media accounts for any hint of a response. For hours, there was silence. Silence only deepened the drama. What was she thinking? How would she react? Was this revelation a blessing, or a burden, to a woman who had always guarded her personal life carefully? To answer those questions, one must return again to the set of Suspicious Partner. Chang Wook's feelings were firstborn. Those who worked closely on the production recall how the actor would go out of his way to ensure Nam Ji Hyun was comfortable, by adjusting the lights when they were too harsh on her, or insisting on retakes when he felt she deserved the chance to shine in a scene. During one particularly long night shoot in Ilson, the cast and crew were visibly drained. Chang Wook was seen quietly offering her a blanket and encouraging words, reminding her that she was doing brilliantly. These are not unusual acts of kindness on a set, but repeated over time. They painted a picture of a man whose care ran deeper than professional courtesy. For him to now admit that love had been present all along only gave those moments new meaning. The drama's most iconic scenes, such as the rain-soaked kiss outside the courthouse or the tender confessions in the law office, were already etched into fans' memories as some of the most romantic in K-drama history. To think that behind those performances was an undercurrent of genuine emotion makes them even more significant. Perhaps it explains why the chemistry between Chang Wook and Nam Ji Hyun felt so real, because for him, at least, it was. The line between fiction and reality blurred, making a performance that transcended the screen. In the days following his confession, Seoul itself became a backdrop to the unfolding story. Reporters camped outside cafes in Samcheongdong, where rumors suggested the two might have met privately to discuss the situation. Fans gathered outside Nam Ji Hyun's filming location, banners of support, while others trailed Chang Wook's movements, hoping for a glimpse of the man whose honesty had upended the industry. Editorials debated the consequences. Was this the beginning of Korea's newest power couple? Or would the pressures of fame crush the possibility before it had a chance to bloom? Entertainment commentators described it as the confession of the decade, a moment that would be remembered long after the details of current dramas faded from memory. The most poignant part of this story, however, not the spectacle it created, but the courage it required. In a culture where celebrities are often expected to remain polished, distant, and unattainable, Chang Wook chose instead to be human. He chose to admit to vulnerability that most stars would bury deep, for fear of scandal or rejection. He chose to honor his truth, regardless of the cost. And in doing so, he reminded fans that behind the carefully constructed images and scripted interviews are people with hearts that beat, break, and yearn just like anyone else. The days that followed Chang Wook's confession felt like a whirlwind for the Korean entertainment industry. The entire city of Seoul seemed to buzz with anticipation, waiting for the one voice that had not yet been heard, Nam Ji Hyun's. For nearly 48 hours, she remained silent, continuing her filming schedule as if the world outside had not been turned upside down. Yet those who knew her best described her as thoughtful, and who weighed her words carefully before stepping into the public eye. She finally appeared at a fan meeting in Gangdong-gu. The atmosphere was electric. Reporters packed the small auditorium, cameras clicking furiously as she took the stage. She wore a calm smile, but her eyes revealed the weight of the moment. "As surprised as all of you," she said gently, her voice steady but warm. Chang Wook is someone I deeply respect. We shared unforgettable memories while working on Suspicious Partner, and I will always treasure that time." It was not a confession, nor was it a rejection. It was the measured response of a woman caught between her private emotions and a public hungry for answers. Yet even those few words were enough to spark another wave of debate. Some insisted her tone hinted at reciprocity. Others argued it was nothing more than polite deflection. Behind the scenes, however, rumors swirled that the two had indeed met quietly in Samcheongdong, at a small cafe tucked away on a side street known for its privacy. Locals whispered of seeing the pair in deep conversation, faces serious but softened with familiarity. No photos emerged, perhaps a testament to how carefully the meeting had been guarded, but the idea of them confronting the truth privately lent the story another layer of romance. This the continuation of a love story that began under the studio lights of Ilson? Or was it simply closure for a man who had carried a secret too long? Internationally, the reaction was equally intense. Media outlets across Asia and beyond picked up the story, framing it as a rare moment of vulnerability in an industry that thrives on mystery and distance. Western entertainment portals praised Chang Wook's bravery, drawing comparisons to Hollywood confessions that often come with scandal and drama. Fans in Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand organized trending campaigns on Twitter, while Japanese magazines revisited every behind-the-scenes clip from Suspicious Partner to analyze their body language. The drama that had once captivated millions was suddenly alive again, not on screen but in reality. Within Korea, editorialists questioned what the revelation meant for both stars' careers. Some industry veterans worried that the public nature of the confession might complicate their professional opportunities, especially for Ji Hyun. Always maintained a clean, controversy-free image. Argued the opposite, suggesting that audiences longed for authenticity and that this revelation only made them more relatable. For fans who had shipped the couple since 2017, it was vindication. They flooded online forums with comments like, "We knew it all along, and this is the ending Suspicious Partner truly deserved." As the frenzy continued, Chang Wook maintained his composure, appearing briefly at a charity event in Gangnam where he thanked fans for their support but declined to elaborate further. "I said what I needed to say," he remarked with a faint smile. "And the rest is not for cameras but for hearts." His words, once again, struck a chord. Suggested that while the world clamored for details, some truths could only be lived, not broadcast. In the end, the confession may not lead to an official relationship announcement or a fairy tale resolution. It may remain, for now, a poignant reminder that love, even unspoken for years, has the power to alter lives when it finally surfaces. What matters most is that Chang Wook dared to say it, and in doing so, he redefined what it means to be honest in an industry built on illusion. For Ji Hyun, whether she chooses to step closer or keep her distance, respect and admiration she expressed ensures that their story will always be framed by warmth rather than scandal. The unexpected twist, then, is not merely the confession itself, but the way it has reminded millions of fans why they fell in love with these actors in the first place. They are not just characters on a screen, by scripts and cameras. They are people, flawed and fragile, capable of carrying secret loves across years and risking everything to speak them aloud. And perhaps that, more than any drama, is the story that will endure.